Hi guys, thanks for joining me for this next short little beginner class where we will kind of have an emphasis on Surya Namaskar B, which is your sun salutation B flow, just to get you more familiar with that so that as you continue to practice yoga, you can start to step into maybe a little bit more challenging classes down the road and you'll be familiar with Surya Namaskar B. We'll do a little bit of warm up, a little bit of cool down as well, but that'll kind of be the main emphasis of the class. So close your eyes, find a nice comfortable seat. Always welcome to sit up on something. Make sure that pelvic bowl is nice and upright. You don't want to be knees up, back, crouched like this. Yeah, so even if you need to sit up on a lot of stuff, that's okay. And placing your hands on your knees, your eyes are closed. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Cleansing, clearing breath out the mouth. Just like a soft little sigh. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. And then kind of keep that sighing kind of sound happening, that texture in your throat when you close your mouth and breathe in and out of the nose. You can try to wake up this Ujjayi pranayama, which is essentially a breath control. Your pranayama is. So you're just going to try your best to breathe with that kind of Darth Vader, fogging up a mirror texture sound by constricting the base of the throat slightly and just pulling that breath in nice and full, nice and slow, and letting that breath out nice and long. Try to avoid tensing up the jaw. And if it does in fact make you feel tense or stressed to breathe in this way, then just drop it and just breathe fully and deeply in a way that is calming and soothing to you, and that's great. As long as you're breathing consciously, deeply, moving that breath beyond the chest, deep down into the belly, right? Letting that breath have some room to do some exploration. Catherine Budig said, "Everyone starts off as a beginner. There's no rush. Build solid and real instead of fast and shiny." So I'd like you to just really try to instill that in your practice today, whether this literally is your very first yoga class or you're just still kind of new, or maybe you've been practicing for a while and you just felt like taking a simple 30-minute class, whatever it might be. Way to focus on building solid and real instead of, some putting on some flashy performance. Yeah, just really explore your body, take it at your pace, and enjoy it, and notice and be where you're at, right? So bring your hands to your heart center, bowing in with that in mind. Solid and real. Just be solid and real with yourself. Drop your hands to any comfortable place now, whether they be in your lap or back on your knees. I'm going to take a couple neck rolls. Chin drops down to the chest. And then you can let the chin go over toward the left shoulder. Something mirror image to you. And you're going to drop the chin back down and over to the right shoulder. Make sure you stay nice and relaxed. Dropping the chin back down. Left ear over to left shoulder, and if it feels okay this time, drop the head all the way back into a full rotation. If that's not okay, just continue to go back and forth, ear to ear instead. Take one more full circle that same direction if it feels good. And the chest returns to the chest. Pause. And let the right ear come to the right shoulder. And drop the head back if it feels okay. Moving nice and slow. Getting the kinks out. When you're ready, completed, then lift your chin up to neutral. Good. So you're just going to do a little core strengthening just to tune in to center. So it's super important to stay strong in our core so that we can help to avoid injuries. Yeah, helps us with our balance, helps us with just moving our bodies through this life. Okay, so I'm going to start seated. Hold on to the backs of your knees. Roll the shoulders back. Lean back. Right away here, feel your core start to engage. Feel those abdominals start to work. And then you're going to start to lift the heels up to about knee height. Now what tends to happen is we start to round here. So we're going to lift that chest up. Stay long. Shoulders hug into the spine. Maybe you can straighten your legs a little bit more. Keep holding the knees. Or if you want a little extra challenge, yeah, the rooster's cheering you on, you guys. You got this. Then you can take your arms out for 5. Don't worry if you're shaking, you're getting stronger. 4. Again, to modify, just hold the backs of the knees. 3. Don't let your spine out. Keep your chest lifted. Smile. 2. And 1. Holding on to the knees. Nice work. Go ahead and bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Hands and knees. Right? So your wrists are right underneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips. And take a couple rounds of cat-cow. Your chest extends forward as your tail tilts up. Your belly kind of slopes. The crown of the head lifts up. And then as you exhale, really pull the belly button up to the spine. Pull the ribs in towards the belly button. Press the hands down. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale. Really try to match up the movement. So you're exhaling, exhale, exhale, matching it with the length of your breath. And then inhale, inhale. Find that extension. Beautiful extension. Oh, that rooster's really got a lot to say today. Sorry, guys. I hope you like roosters. Yeah, exhale and round. Inhale to a neutral spine. Good. Now from here, you're going to walk your hands a little bit forward and shift your shoulders forward so that you're in a knee plank position, a modified plank position. So as you come forward, your shoulders over the wrist, your toes can tuck under. So you're welcome to stay here if this is enough of a challenge already. Otherwise, float those knees up off the ground nice and strong. Don't let those hips sag. Stay nice and strong. Legs are strong. Right, but don't let the hips look too high either, right? Find that nice, solid push-up position. Good. Now lower the knees down and bend the elbows straight back as you bring your chest forward and down to the ground. Untuck your toes, lift the chest into a baby cobra. Good. Exhale, release it down. Clasp your hands behind you if you can, otherwise just arms at your side. Lifting the chest up into a locust variation, shoulders hugging in. Good. And then releasing it down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Add the lift of the legs. And nice spine strengthening, shoulder opening opportunity for 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're traveling back to a child's pose. So lift the hips up. Open the knees. Bring the big toes toward one another and just softly start to let your hips lower back to your heels. Bring your forehead down to the ground. Right, so if this is too much on your knees, you'll know. You can just back off a little bit. Right, or you could throw a blanket or something behind the knees for support. Just really paying attention and knowing the difference between good pain and bad pain. Right, anytime we're doing anything, right, we feel that little, like, kind of warning sign, like, oh, that's not a good feeling, and then the difference between, like, whew, that's intense, but I know that this is a really good stretch for me. This is challenging, but it's making me stronger, right? If it's bad pain, please move out of the position right away. From here, you're going to come into a downward facing dog. You're going to lift your hips up, tuck the toes under, and send the hips up and back. So I don't know if you saw a little couple-minute down dog adjustment tutorial that I did with, had my husband help me with. But he was helping to demonstrate the common tendency to kind of have a round in the spine and a focus on trying to straighten the legs. So really want to make sure you keep that bend in the knees and you press your chest back. Wrap your outer arms so that's like you're trying to take your armpits toward to look at your ears. And then eventually you start to straighten your heels back up. Then you want to pull the ribs in, the belly in, so you're engaging in your core. Good, nice weight bearing position, good for bone density, fresh blood, brain. Just kind of boosting the mood. You ready? You're going to step your feet up to your hands. Just get them up as far as you can, no worries. Bending the knees a lot so you can lay on your thighs and hold opposite elbows for your ragdoll position. Stretching the spine, let the head hang. And I mean just like really let it go. Let all that tension dissolve. It's like it's just pouring right off of you into this little puddle. No more tension. When you're ready, you can slowly start to roll up. One vertebra at a time, allowing your shoulders to roll back. Good. And circle the arms up, just reaching up. And exhaling the hands to the heart. Just feeling the feet nice and solid on the earth. Place one hand on the heart and one hand on the stomach. Getting that heartbeat. It's a reminder that you are here, you are living, you are breathing, you are real. And you are a real and solid human being contributing to this beautiful, crazy world. And when you're ready, you can bring your feet together, knees together. We'll start our first round of Surya Namaskar. So when you're ready, you're going to sit down into a chair pose. Your hips are going to sit back and your arms are going to reach up. So you want to make sure that the knees don't go past the toes. Keep those knees back, but you're going to continue to try to slide the seat down and back as much as you want. So really feel heavy in your heels. Like your toes should be able just to kind of wiggle around down there because you're really, really putting the weight in the heels, okay? You want to hug those arms toward midline, shoulders away from the ears. Right? It should burn a little bit. Sit down and back. Now lift the chest a little bit more. Your core is working here. Everything's working pretty solid. Inhale and then exhale. So that's the longest one we'll hold. I just wanted you to get a little used to it, get a little warm. Inhale. When you're ready, flat back. This is your half lift or your half forward fold. Exhale, step back to a plank position. Good. And from your plank position, you can lower your knees down or in one piece, shift your weight forward and lower all the way down. Good. Cobra position, Bhujangasana. You're going to lift your chest up, shoulder blades in, elbows in. Maybe just coming up a little bit, maybe starting to work a little deeper. Don't force it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. You're going to lift your right leg up, sweep it to the sky. And then step the right toes right up by the right wrist. Then you're gonna or right thumb rather. And then you're gonna put that back heel down at a slight degree, slight angle, like 30 degrees. Okay, and then you're gonna come up, square your hips. So you can literally put your hands on your hips for this first round just to feel, okay, if these are little flashlights, you want your hip points, those little lights to face forward in Warrior One. So left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back, front knee bends so it's right over the front ankle, and the back heel really digs into the earth, and then the arms reach to the sky. So this first round we're taking really nice and slow, holding each position a little bit longer so you can start to get used to it and warm into the shape. And then we'll learn how to move it just a little faster, okay? Good, inhale, chest lifting, exhale, hands down. Step back. So at this point, you can just step back to a downward facing dog if you'd like, or come with me to a plank position, lower forward and down. Inhale to cobra, shoulder blades in, elbows in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, really lift that leg up as you breathe in. Exhale, pull the knee toward the chest and step the foot up by the thumb. So help it through if it didn't go all the way. Spin your back heel down and come back up. So you don't want the toes to be too far angled out. It's more about 30 degrees so that it's easier to get your hips to point straight forward, right? So again, if you want to have your hands on your hips and just do your little check, where are your lights pointing, right? And then shake the arms up. You want to zip up, right? That's what I talk about a lot, is from the pubic bone all the way up. You want to have this sense of just zipping everything in and up. So you feel pelvic floor awareness, low belly awareness. And breathing, really pressing into that back foot, pressing into that front foot, working that right hip forward, and pulling those low ribs in, lifting the chest. Palms are facing one another. Good. Inhale. And on an exhale, hands down. Stepping back, downward dog or plank position. Good. Exhale, lower forward and down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Take your gaze forward now. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Walk, or if you want to try to hop lightly to your hands, you can if you're feeling a little spunky. And then flat back, look up. Fold into your legs. Feet together, knees together. Back to your chair pose, which is called Utkatasana in Sanskrit. Utkatasana. You're sitting those hips back and down. Inhale. Exhale, standing up. Sounds good to you. Hands to your sides, Tadasana. Good. Nice work. Okay, so that was one full round, so your Namaskar beat. We're going to do 2 more rounds, but we're going to move like 1 breath per movement, so you'll get the hang of it. And it's okay if you don't, or you just solid and real, that's all. Just do what you can. Sit down, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, walk or hop your feet back. If you want to hop, you can. Lower forward and down. Remember, knees down if you need. Keep those elbows close to the body. Inhale into your cobra. Maybe you can lift just a little higher now. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, inhale. Right toes by the right thumb, exhale. Back heel down. Use your inhale to come up. Use your exhale to lower back down and flow. Or skip it, down dog or child's pose. Totally your choice. Inhaling. This is a slightly advanced beginner class, but it's just warming you up because I know you're excited to build your practice and be able to get to one of those vinyasa classes one day. Left leg up. Step the foot forward. Back heel down. Good. Inhale. Arms up. So it's really about connecting the breath and the movement and finding that kind of meditation in the movement and how the breath works to help you, find more space on the inhale, right? And to exhale, relax, surrender, fold. Good. Taking gaze forward, lift heels, bend knees, walk or a nice light hop to the hands. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, fold. Feet together, knees together. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the heart, stand up. Hands by your sides. Nice work. Last round, sit down, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Flat back, inhale. Walk or hop your feet back and lower forward and down. Inhale, cobra. Nice and soft. Widen the collarbone. Exhale, downward facing. Right leg up. Stepping the foot by the thumb. Spin back, heel flat. Root down to rise up. Full length of your breath. All the way, fill up. Exhale, hands return down. Keep exhaling as you lower down. Inhale. find that nice open-hearted cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, last one. Step the foot up. Back heel down. Feel how the whole body is just getting a nice sense of warmth, flexibility of movement, strength. Right? Just in this simple movement. Inhale, it's your last cobra. Enjoy it. Drink it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale through the nose. Resting breath out the mouth. Gazing between the thumbs. Lift heels, bend knees. Walk your light up to the thumbs. Flat back. Fold as deeply as you can. Forehead toward the shins or knees. Knees bent if you need. Feet together, knees together. Chair pose. Hands to heart, stand up. Mountain position. Nice work. You made it through 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar. Let's take one balancing pose and we'll come down for a couple cool down poses. So you're going to sit back down into that chair pose and then you're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. I'll just take a nice little figure 4 kind of balance stretch there. You're going to come forward, elbows toward the knees, just going any amount until you feel that outer seat do a little talking to you. And back up. Good, release. And chair pose. And left leg. Really be nice and grounded through your right foot. Like coming forward. Again, just, keeping that knee from going too far forward. So send the weight of your hips back. Draw the low belly in and just sit as much as you can. Breathing into that left hip. Getting stronger on your right side, open on your left side. So good, so important to practice balance. Keep all those little muscles strong, our awareness, our sense of center. And go back up. Nice job. Releasing back down. Inhale, circle the arms. Exhale the hands to the heart. Good. Okay, so we're going to try just one arm balance, I think, before we do a couple cool down poses and rest, just for fun, because crow is really fun. So if you're not up for it today, that's totally fine. What you can do is just take your feet just about mat distance, turn the toes out, and start to squat down, putting your hands on the ground to support you if you need. Squat down. If you can come here, okay? If you feel okay and you want to try the balance, let's go ahead and place your hands down, right? And actually, if you bring your inner feet together, slide your knees up on your arms, and then as you lift your hips up a little bit, scoop your belly in. I want you to feel like you're holding in your shishi, which is pee in Hawaii. And it sounds really funny, but you want to engage those, your pelvic floor muscles. And so it's kind of like that feeling. You're going to wrap your elbows back, take the gaze forward. Usually when I say that, people crack up and then they totally get it. So it works, even though it sounds funny. Okay, so go this way, so maybe this angle helps too. So you're looking forward, chest is open, you're engaging core, pelvic floor awareness, grip into fingertips, chest stays open, and maybe you can bring those feet up. Maybe just one foot at a time. Maybe you try one, then you try the other. Whatever works. Keep looking forward. If you look down, you're probably going to go down. Whoa, sorry, I didn't mean to clap so loud. But you want to just keep looking forward. Nice job, guys. And you could do it. Put your feet back down. Good work. And see if you can just land yourself down on your bone. Take your legs straight forward. Shake them out a little bit. So at this point, you might want to grab your blanket again for a couple seated positions. You can just set that up nice. Okay. Bring yourself up on it. Good. And you're going to take your right ankle over your left knee. So just like we did in standing, that seated or that figure 4 balance, we're going to do it in seated now and dig into our hip a little bit more. So slide your left knee up
And then use your hands to press your chest up. So again, you may opt to not sit on a blanket for this one. It's totally up to you. And the closer you get the heel, you just kind of keep shimmying that heel in, right, until you feel that good stretch on your outer right hip. Keep your right foot flexed to help to keep the muscles engaged and protect your knee. And then keep lifting the chest up. And so even though it doesn't look like I'm doing all that much right here, I'm pulling my left knee toward my left shoulder, and I'm pulling my right knee away from my right shoulder. And that's helping to increase the stretch in my outer right hip. So if you do that, you should get similar results. Good, and you know, your foot may be right way here and you're already feeling stretch, or maybe, you know, way down here. Whenever and wherever it is that you feel that piriformis, that outer right hip, outer butt stretch, so that's where you stay and enjoy it. Now from here, just straighten your left leg out and let the right foot step just outside of that knee. So it just kind of lands right like it was. Right hand behind your left arm up and hook the elbow to take a nice cleansing twist. So as you twist, try not to pull your right hip back. So if anything, pull your right hip forward as you twist around to the right. And use that elbow as leverage. Okay, if that's a little too much, you can always opt to just hug your knee instead of hug the elbow. That's okay. Right hand is behind you. Left fingertips are facing up. When you're ready, you can unwind. Take a little counter pose, maybe bow in a little bit. And coming up and just switching sides. So left ankle crosses over upper right knee area. Slide the heel in. Hands behind you, lift the chest up. Good. Bring that heel in as close as you'd like or as you can. Right, not letting yourself dump into that low back at all. So really use those hands to help you lift the chest and bring your pelvis forward. So again here, I'm keeping the left foot flexed. I'm pulling the right knee toward me and the left knee away. Good. See if you can relax your jaw, maybe close your eyes, a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, slide your right foot forward, left foot to the ground. Good. Right arm up, hook the elbow twist, or hug the elbow if that's better for you. And as you twist around, pull your left hip a little bit forward so this hips stay right in place. Right toes point up. That leg is strong. So good for the kind of spine maintenance and organ maintenance. You're helping the flexibility and kind of overall health of the spine. Helping to encourage sort of realignment and spacing between the vertebrae, and then also to remove toxins from your internal organs. When you're ready, you're going to unwind. Just take a little counter twist. And back to center. Both legs straight, inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Paschimottanasana, intense west facing posture. You're going to inhale, lift up. You know, maybe you need to slide your seat out from underneath you again, and then fold forward. So please avoid just rounding here and trying to reach your toes. That doesn't matter. Just let your hands land wherever, or you can use a little rag or strap or something if you like. And just focus more on stretching the chest out nice and long. Thinking about a spine straight. straight spine. And that someday the stomach would touch the thighs, and then the ribs, and then eventually the chest, and then eventually the head. But with no rush. Nothing fast, nothing shiny. Well, I mean, except maybe your spirit can be shiny and sparkly, but just because you're so sweet. Not because you're trying to be like a sports car or something. Just take it slow, solid and real. One more breath. And then inhale and come back up. And exhale, slide your seat forward, lower down onto your back. Onto your back, knees into chest. And you're going to take your knees open, finding happy baby. So your feet are going to flex and your knees are going to drop out to the sides a little wider than your armpit distance. And you can hold on to the edges of your feet or your big toes, or if that's not an option, maybe your ankles, maybe behind your knees. Just find somewhere to hold and try to get your knees to come a little closer to the floor. What is going to probably happen is the hips are going to start to round up off the ground like this. And so you want to pull the backs of the hips back down onto the ground, even if that means those feet go a little bit higher to the sky. Okay, so the reality of it is you might be somewhere like this, and then someday it opens up and get a little bit more. But try to have your ankles over your knees and the backs of the hips on the floor. Just like that. Nice. Yep. I'm just imagining, I can just see all these happy babies. Good, one more breath. And releasing. And we'll come into Shavasana, your resting pose. So extend the legs long, length of your mat. And adjust your shoulders and your hips a couple times underneath you so they're comfy. Your feet are about mat distance. Your hands at your sides, comfortably far apart. Palms are turned open. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And like we did at the beginning of the class, just let it out your mouth. Again, in through your nose, and maybe this time even an audible sigh. And then seal the lips and just let the breath flow naturally. Just allow the breath to flow as it will. And let your body drop into the floor until you hear the sound of the bells. Weight of the body be supported by the earth. A deep sense of gratitude for this opportunity. Feel so solid and real that you can just let go. You can completely be in this moment. Relax. So relaxed. So relaxed.
Take a nice deep inhale and a slow soft exhale. Start to move your fingers and your toes. And we stretch the arms overhead for a nice long body stretch. When you're ready, you can curl your knees into your chest and then just roll over to your right side, fetal position, nice and cozy. Press up to seated when you're ready. Any comfortable seat, maybe you grab your blanket again. Placing your hands comfortable on your knees. Eyes are closed. With no judgments, just notice how you feel. Remembering everyone starts off as a beginner. There's no rush. Build solid and real instead of fast and shiny. Bring your hands to your heart and bow your head and thanking yourself for taking this time today, right? To be solid and real with yourself, with your practice, with maybe being in this beginner stage of your practice and recognizing that we all start whatever the next new thing that we're doing or learning as a beginner. And that's a beautiful thing. It's just another opportunity to learn and to grow and to start something new. So I hope you enjoy this new practice that you're starting. And thank you for doing it with me, sharing this time. Namaste. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed if you did. And I do accept Venmo donations if you would like to do that as well. So that would be Leah-Distav. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.